Today, I'm going on a sartorial journey with the Beast from Dagenham East, better known as Ella Vaday, an English drag queen, actor, and dancer who competed on the third series of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. I am in awe of what I see in front of
stop
me.
it, you.
Welcome. Oh my
Thank you.
God. I'm absolutely transfixed by the hair, the makeup, the body,
Yeah.
the everything.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot, but it's amazing, and it's really you're just really drawn into it. It's very magnetic.
Well, it takes me a hot hour to get into it, and it used to take me ages
I was
longer.
going to say, is it only an hour?
Yeah, like I'm so quick now because I know how to do my face, so I literally just pound it in the makeup, shove it on my face, and then it always ends up fine. But people always think, how long is that taking you? And I'm like, half an hour, babe.
Oh my God. I know a lot of women who would be very jealous of all of that. But I'm going to just track back to start with, and then we're going to get onto the full hair, makeup, body, everything. But what was your earliest sartorial memory?
Gosh, I don't know. As a kid, there were so many different trends growing up. So I'm 34 now. And there was the skater boy. I mean, I'm talking like me as a boy now, because I've only done drag for 3 years.
Yeah.
Me as a boy, there was this skater boy bit where you had to wear really baggy jeans and you had to have a chain from pocket to pocket and huge shoes. And I can't skate. I
was
can't
going to say, were you
or
a
anything.
skateboarder?
No, not at all. I just wanted to fit in. So like I couldn't afford the expensive shoes that everyone had, like the proper skate boy shoes. So I got the cheap shoes from Shoe Zone and just bought them a couple sizes bigger so they were bigger just to fit in. Because as a kid, I didn't really fit into any groups of friends at school because I always danced and stuff and I wasn't a gay kid, but like the girls were really boring. The boys were either really geeky or sporty or boring. So I just sort of sat in the middle, just like fleeting around everyone. So
and this was in Essex?
No, so I grew up in Suffolk.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was born in Essex, grew up in the countryside, in the sticks, like in between Ipswich and Norwich. So it's kind of like there's not much to do there. So you kind of just have to fit in where you can.
And then do you remember when you felt that clothes, that the whole feeling of wanting to dress up further than that? Do you remember when that started?
Probably when I was in my 20s, like when I worked in the West End, you always had to dress up nicely. I mean, I must say, I spent most of my time just in trackies and vests because I've been a dancer most of my life. My whole life is mainly just comfort. But then in terms of drag, I got into drag when I was about 30.
What was the moment that you thought, I'll just try drag?
It was when I was in the Book of Mormon and there was like a charity show that they did every year called Mad Drag Night. And they were like, do you want to come and do it? And I was like, yes, because I'd seen it I'd seen it the year before and I really wanted to do it, but no one had asked me to do it. So when I got asked to do it, I jumped at it and I was like, yeah, I want to try it.
And so did you create your own outfit for that?
I think I just wore something from like ASOS or Boohoo, just something stretchy that would fit me because it's really hard to buy clothes in the right size.
But we have to talk about the creation of the body.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at you now and you've got these amazing bosoms, this tiny waist, these beautiful curvaceous hips. Can you just talk me through the whole process?
Well, because out of drag, like I go to the gym and I've got like big arms and stuff. I had to like, in drag terms, it's called proportionize, where you like literally, I needed to have a bigger hip, a bigger boob to kind of make everything make sense, like bigger hair.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if I wore flat hair and had no hips, I'd just look a bit odd. So it took me a while to kind of develop my style and to find the right corset. Like this is just my socks in my bra. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I'm so about to grab your bosoms.
I might be known from Drag Race, but I still have my socks in my bra. And yeah, it just takes a while to develop it. And I always wanted to be like this curvaceous, sensual woman, which is completely different to me out of drag.
Inspired by a particular woman?
Not really. Just like curvaceous, gorgeous women, like thinking of, Marilyn Monroe and like more of the modern people that just embrace their bodies. Like I'm not a skinny boy, so I could never be one of these, wafer thin drag queens. That was not going to happen.
What does your mother look like?
Here's a funny story. My sister tried on my drag stuff and she has this body. So I basically...
So without all the corsetry?
I put the corset onto my sister.
Yeah.
She has the hips, she has the boobs. She looked like me in drag. So I basically pad and changed my body to be like my sister.
That's fascinating, though. That really is. But your mother doesn't look anything like...
My mum looks like me facially, and she's always been a slightly curvy, but yeah, not like this, obviously. This is a heightened version.
And is this a specific corset that is it a drag corset?
No, this is a corset anyone can buy. It's a cupped corset. Because I sing live normally in my sets, it kind of curves under my ribs so I can still breathe.
I was going to say your diaphragm, doing dresses for performers in the past.
Rather than a conical shape, I can actually breathe and stuff, so it's reasonably comfortable.
And so you've got a bra on?
I've got a bra, which is padded, and then some socks.
But how... Okay, so on all the pictures of drag artists, I see everyone has the most beautiful cleavage.
Okay, so that's a breastplate.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like a silicone. I don't wear them anymore because they're so sweaty and gross.
And do they literally stick onto you?
Yeah, so you pull it on like a vest, and it kind of either cuts at your kind of neck or like high neck.
Yeah.
And then you obviously have to cover it up with a choker and stuff. So that's how you get the illusion of female breasts.
Yeah.
But they are so sweaty because you can't breathe through it.
Because they're like latex.
Yeah, literally. So I've kind of cut that from my
so
drag.
Hence the long sleeves and the high neck.
Yeah, so I'll either wear now like a low cut with no, breastplate and just padded bra, just because it's comfier.
You're an uber fit man, she says.
Well, try to be.
It's
gone down a bit, but yeah.
Well, you've been on the road for God knows how long. But then, so you've got a great chest and then you enhance that. Yeah. I'm just fascinated anatomically how this gets put together.
So sometimes if it is like a lower cut, you can actually sort of stuff something in there and then pull out your like pec to make it look like you've got a bit of a bust.
So lift and separate.
Yeah, like I've not got much tissue there to play with, but you can sort of shove it in. Ooh,
yeah.
Cheers. You can shove it in directions where it's not meant to be.
So then you've got the corset, but then we've got to talk about the hips, the bits, So the hips, you've got this beautiful hourglass body that I'm looking at.
So these are hip pads, which I make myself out of high density foam. And you basically, it goes from my sort of waist right down to like my knee almost. And it's shaped like Africa, like this. So it goes round my bum and down my leg. And I carve it to the right shape. So
you're sculpting your own body?
Yeah, and I always have. And people go, why don't you just buy them? And I'm like, because they won't be exactly my size.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. I mean, you really...
I take charge of everything. I'm too much of a control freak to let someone, do it.
But also, I can't imagine that an off-the-peg bit of padding is going to be as good as someone. And as a very physical person who works their body, you know your body back to front.
Exactly. And I'm still tweaking them. I'm still making them right. And sometimes people are like, can you make me some hip pads? I'm like, no, just because it's so boring. I hate doing it. But at the same time, I can't let someone else do it.
Have you studied Kim Kardashian's body?
No, but I mean, if I could get my waist a bit smaller, I think I wouldn't be far off.
I think having seen her in the flesh, I'd say you're pretty spot on.
I mean, her body is insane, isn't it? Like that's, very drag actually to have a body that is like Jessica Rabbit.
It really is, yes.
It's
amazing. I remember seeing her at an event and finding it very difficult to take my eyes off her bottom.
Yeah.
Because she was in quite a sheer dress and that bottom is...
No, it's an incredible...
Extraordinary.
Rear. Yes.
Okay, can I ask about the bits?
Yes.
You're really going to make me ask, aren't you? What happens?
Oh, well, lots of people don't like speaking about what they do with their bits, but basically you just have to put it up where it came from and jam it in. That's as much as needs to be said.
Fine. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And then you've got these incredible tights on.
Yeah, so it depends what the outfit is. I think right now I've probably got on about 4 or 5 pairs of dance tights.
You're joking.
So sometimes my feet get so bound up in my shoes that I literally have to like pull out the tights. Do you know? Have you ever
Oh,
had that sensation?
yes, I've had that, sir.
Yeah. So
You're
like
talking to a woman.
yeah, well, I never know if women wear multiple pairs, like 7 pairs of tights. Probably isn't normal.
Well, do you know what? Back in the 80s, we used to layer our
Oh, okay.
tights. And so I remember that
Yeah.
well. And then all the funny.
So there's, drag is such an uncomfortable thing to actually do when you've got a wig on. Sometimes the wigs are so heavy, your head's been pulled back, got a corset on, so you're almost like forced forward. Your feet are bound up in your shoes, which are high. And yeah, it's something else sometimes.
I was going to say, what's the longest time you're actually in costume?
There was one time I was in an outfit which was a shoe inside of the outfit, so I couldn't actually take my shoes off for, I think it must have been about 13 hours. So when I took my shoes off, I couldn't walk. But yeah, it depends what the event is. Sometimes if you're at an awards ceremony, you're just sat around in it, and almost that's more uncomfortable because you're just stationary. Or if you're in a taxi, it's so uncomfortable. When you're moving, it's fine.
What does your partner think of you in drag? Does he look at you and go, I'm in love with a man, not a woman?
I've asked him this before, and he's just not bothered. I think over the years, we've been together like 11 and a half years. I've done every job under the sun. Like I've walked dressed as a pig through central London. He's not fazed. My family are not fazed when I said I'm going to do drag. And honestly, I don't think he cares. He came to Australia. I did like headlined a tour in Australia, and he came and was my assistant. So like he got to come to Australia with me dressed like this for a couple of hours, because that's all it is. I don't live like this.
Yeah.
I put it on and I go to work and I come home and take it off. Yeah.
I mean, when you're transforming yourself from Nick to Ella, do you start with the body or the makeup or the hair? I have to
shave my hair first. I have to shave my beard, shave my pits, shave my chest.
Yes, because your skin looks just like a woman's skin.
Does it?
Beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely lovely. So you give a good shave.
I have to have a close, like, razor shave
Eyebrows?
every time. Brows I have to cover with glue and then, carry on. Beard colour correct. So always the face first. That takes the longest to try and cover up the man.
And who taught you this?
I taught myself. I learned from like YouTube.
And was it just trial and error?
Yeah, very much so.
And do you use like stage makeup, or do you?
Yes, it's stage makeup, like like the pan sticks, big thick makeup, and blend it all in. Obviously got your highlighter, your contour, your blush. Like there's so much goes on. The amount of products I've got, and I literally learned over the years. When I started, I looked awful. I looked rotten. And then even watching myself back on Drag Race, that taught me a lot as well, to change things up, to make my eyes darker. Because when I went on Drag Race, for example, I'd only been doing drag for like 2 years. One of those years was a lockdown. So I was very new to it.
I mean, really steep learning curve going on Drag Race.
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, you had to learn how to sew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, talk me through the Drag Race experience.
Oh, I mean, that's a long story, but the sewing bit of it, like I wanted to learn to sew anyway, because I'm one of those people, I like to learn how to do everything myself. You might have guessed that already.
Well, yes, I'm guessing that, because it's even the makeup is an incredibly creative process.
Yeah, and I to be honest, the reason I kind of got into drag, I'd been doing West End, theatre shows for probably about 10, 12 years. I was getting a bit bored. So I wanted something new, creative to do. So like learning makeup was something where I could just do it on myself. And I was always good at art as a kid. So I asked for a sewing machine for Christmas from my brother and sister. Because, at Christmas, I never know what to ask for. And so I got this sewing machine. I bought some patterns, tried to make stuff. And it didn't go well. But then I tried something really simple and it worked. I was like, hey, I made this, worked to a few gigs. So by the time like Drag Race happened, I knew how to sew, I knew how to do a machine.
And you're good with applying your Swarovski crystals.
Oh yeah, that's quite easy. Just dot, dot, dot.
Stamp
shove,
them on.
Shove, yeah.
More is more.
Exactly. Always with drag.
So when you're creating a persona like your famous Ella Vaday, I love that name, from the Snatch game. Do you have a picture of Nigella in front of you? How does that, because to go from you to a specific persona, that's a real art.
Yeah, I mean, on the show, I was going to do Mystic Meg, and then I changed last minute. So I had no, not very similar makeup, I don't think. I went from what I could remember of Nigella, which was a bit more of a simple eye, like just eyeliner, just slightly darker, smaller eyebrows. And I had to quickly style that wig as well for that. It was manic. I didn't know what I was going to do. So yeah, I don't know.
And did you
I
have
just,
a picture of her in front
No,
of
I
you?
had no picture. I just
But
kind
in
of,
your brain?
yeah, I just
you're
did
very
my
visual.
makeup, but I tried to do it how a natural woman might do it rather than what my drag look would be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tips for pulling off an impression?
No, just go for it. I mean, with Nigella, I had to do it for my audition tape, so I'd already kind of thought about it. And obviously, with Nigella, I just put on quite a seductive, deeper, but quite posh voice. Yeah, she's
Lovely. I love that.
She's wonderful. So, yeah.
I mean, drag is such a celebratory art form. It's really an homage to women. What was there a specific woman that inspired you to create Ella?
No, it's funny. In life, I never have like specific people. I mean, my mum is an incredible woman. Don't think Ella's, maybe she is. Maybe Ella is like my mum. My mum's like so outgoing and will talk to anyone and is funny and beautiful. So maybe this is me
Being
a bit of my mum, yeah, because she's amazing.
How did you come up with the name?
Well, I used to call myself Ella Vaday because of my big bum. But then people thought I was saying elephant ass.
No. And
I didn't want to be known as elephant ass. So I just thought Ella Vaday is a bit more British and a bit more me because
it's brilliant.
I'm so dry as a person. I'm so sarcastic. So like if I'd go into the theatre and they'd be like, "How you doing? You all right?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I've had Ella Vaday. I don't want to talk about it." Or like, when someone asks you, "What have you had for your lunch?" I'd be like, "None of your business."
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that just kind of came and it stuck.
Would you say you have a drag type?
I mean, I'm definitely within like the glamorous MILF genre. I mean, I sing live, so I sit within the cabaret theatre-y bit of drag rather than the lip syncing, throwing myself around a club because I'm too old for that. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of.
But that must be lovely because actually you're layering another skill onto quite a multitude of skills anyhow.
Yeah, it's taking what I've always done and just moving it into this new kind of...
Putting it on steroids.
Yeah, putting it on steroids in a wig.
Do you have a dog?
I do, yeah. Wally.
How does your dog react to you being in drag?
He hates it.
It's so interesting because years ago, I was staying with some friends in the country and I had my dog with me. I was single at the time and, lovely friends. Anyhow, two of them came downstairs at dinner in full drag.
Yeah.
My dog, who had been with them all day, went completely bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, really did not find it funny.
Yeah.
She was smelling them. She knew who they were, but she thought it was really not funny.
He finds it so weird. I took him to the People's Pet Awards and he couldn't stand to be with me. Like, he honestly... And I think sometimes when I'm getting into drag, I scream and I throw things around when I'm too hot, or like, and I think he associates that with Ella Vaday. So whenever I come downstairs, he's like looking at me like, "Who the hell are you? Like, keep away from me."
She's gonna be moody.
And then I tried to take him on a red carpet, and all the pictures he's like trying to get away. I'm picking him up, and he's like, "No!" So it was a bit of a nightmare. Bless him.
I mean, do you feel that having an alter ego helps you express yourself better?
I would have said no, but I think yes. I think it does make you... People look at you and react to you so much differently to like when I'm out of drag. And I kind of love the fact that happens as well. I think it definitely makes... I think Ella Vaday is definitely more confident because I would never, as Nick, go to a bar and sing a couple of songs and get people,
Despite being a performer?
Yeah. Wow. I hate karaoke, but I know that Ella Vaday would run a karaoke and sing every song if she could, whereas I hate it.
She's such a great woman.
Yeah, like Nick would have to be drunk to do karaoke because I hate the attention.
So is your drag a form of armour?
Oh, definitely. I think for a lot of people, drag is their armour, just like you know, fashion is, just like makeup is. Drag is literally a whole coating of armor, isn't it?
Yeah.
From head to toe.
Yeah.
I don't look like the same person. And
You
people,
really don't, because
no.
I've seen pictures of you out of drag
Yeah.
and now meeting you today in drag.
Yeah.
I have to say, you are extraordinarily beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really beautiful. Turning to Drag Race, what was the selection process like? Because that happened quite quickly for you, didn't it?
Yeah. So obviously you have to do an audition tape, which you submit. They kind of tell you what you need to do for it. You send it off. They kind of chased me for season 2 to do a video, and I didn't do it because I got Hairspray in town. I was like, I've got the job I want to do. So I sent off for season 3 thinking, hey, maybe they're interested. So I'll get it in really quickly. I was really happy with what I did for my video.
What did you do?
You just have to like literally do a lip sync, and you have to do 2 snatch games and show off your different looks. And I was very basic still, but I knew I'd put together a good video. We were in lockdown, and I was like, do you know what?
Nothing to lose.
Yeah. F it, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
So I submitted it, and I thought, right, I'm going to get together all the designers I would use, all the wig people, just in case. I kind of had a feeling when I submitted it. I was like, I've got a feeling.
Do you, you must have quite a hell of a wardrobe now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
and a wardrobe
heaving.
of wigs? How many wigs do you have?
Too many. At the moment, I've got like one section of wigs that are just so rubbish that they're just kind of shoved in, and I need to get rid of them. And then just like, this is a new one, and I've got other new ones, because there is a pressure to keep up looking good, you know.
And
like,
the new.
everyone. Yeah. So like every red carpet I've done in the last couple of weeks has been like a new wig, a new outfit. So you do build up a lot of stuff.
Do you ever rent? Can you rent?
I can't really rent because of my size.
Because of the proportions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's hard to buy from shops as well. So I find it particularly difficult because my measurements are not normal. Thank
goodness for that sewing machine, hey?
Yeah.
What's been your favourite drag look to date for you?
I've had loads that I've really loved. I think my most recent one that I wore to the Pride of Britain was this like gorgeous like metallic gown, sort of like gathered, and I think that just looked really nice on me.
That was classic Hollywood.
Yeah,
to
and
me.
I felt like I felt like $1 million. And then on the show, I wore an outfit which was like a watermelon sort of themed outfit, and it was really camp, and it was really like Ella. Like she had the big boobs and like cutouts on her legs and stuff, and that was really camp.
My guilty secret is I loved you as Mel C.
Oh,
I just thought that was genius.
Yeah, well, that was great because it was embracing my masculinity and like having muscles and stuff whilst having this skinny waist, and because
being able to dance and sing and do it all in the costume.
It was great. I loved doing that look. And also I knew that no one else would do Mel C because she's not an obvious drag, sort of a drag look to do. So I thought, I'm going to do that so I stand out, because you have to be really you have to be clever on Drag Race to pick things that people won't pick.
Yeah.
Because the obvious ones from Spice Girls, like I love Mel C, by the way, if you're listening, would be like Scary Spice, Jerry, and Baby. Yeah. I think they're the ones that everyone would go for. So I thought, I'm not going to do them.
Well, they had the iconic looks, really, didn't they?
So I thought, I'm not going to do them, and I'm going to, do press-ups on the runway, and I'm going to do something different.
I think sort of as human beings, we're a little guilty of sizing people up when we first meet them, especially by what they're wearing. Is this something you're conscious of when you're around other drag artists?
It's nothing I've really thought of, but, I don't consider myself like very... My style is not very like fashion forward. Like I'm not going to Balenciaga to buy that sort of thing because it doesn't really suit me. So I know that I get judged by certain other drag queens that maybe do wear that kind of like expensive fashion brands and stuff, because I don't really like that. I like to look a bit more classic, a bit classy. So yeah, I don't really overthink it. I just always think if I feel good, then I don't care.
It's a lot about how you feel inside, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Would you say you have a style icon?
Do you know who I absolutely love? Shania Twain.
You really surprised me with that one.
Why? I don't know. I just think if you look at all of her music videos and the things she wears, like for example, I've got the leopard print outfit that she wore for that don't impress me much. And like, she just is incredible. I just love her.
The country and western singers do have that
Yeah.
fantastic theatricality, don't they?
Like Dolly Parton.
Oh.
Like her figure as well is like tiny waist, big boobs.
It's quite drag, isn't it?
And I love anyone from like the late 90s, early 2000s, all of that sort of genre, all the divas, like that's totally my bag. Modern music and stuff I'm not really into. Like I always revert back to me being a kid with like Anastasia and, you know, all of these incredible people.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I don't know, I guess I emulate, I guess I really love the late 90s, early 2000s.
Do you remember how old you were when drag first came into your
late
sort of consciousness?
Yeah, I think only because of RuPaul's Drag Race, I kind of discovered drag because I did Panto as a kid.
Yeah.
And like,
but Panto's
Panto
so
Dame's
different,
not a drag queen.
Yeah.
And I guess I just thought drag was like people in clubs, you know, being a bit dirty and stuff. And then Drag Race kind of took it to a different level where it was all about fashion and it was about impressions and dancing and singing. And I've been watching it since it started, but really got into it kind of in the last 6 years, I would say. Yeah. When you realise that actually you can have a career and do some amazing stuff.
And there's a real art in it.
It's real art form. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, right. I appreciate what you're saying about Panto is just, you can't compare Panto to drag.
No, it's complete polar opposites. But it's great that it is because, you know, you can't beat a good Panto Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say you have a drag style icon?
I mean, RuPaul, like the things he wears are incredible. Apart from that, no, I don't know. I'm really bad at having icons. I don't know if you know.
But I sort of love it because you create your own personas and you're very artistic with it. And I
like
think
to take from different bits. So like sometimes I'll think I want to look like this time, and I said to the person that made my last dress, I want it to be cupped and like drapey and da 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 da. And part of it's so that I'm comfortable as well. So it draped across.
Now the person that made your last dress. Do they make for just drag artists, or is it a dressmaker who makes for women?
So they do a lot of ballroom stuff. So
Fascinating.
They're great with stretch material because that's, you know, any drag queen's best friend is a bit of stretch.
Is any woman's best friend? Can I just tell you that?
Exactly, very true. So no, she was making for ballroom, so she's great at, you know, at sparkle and stretch, and so yeah, she's been great for me.
When you're unsure of the dress code, what's your go-to look? Is it Ella or is it Nick?
I like to mix it up, you know, because it was the finale of Drag Race last year, and it was the Gay Times Honours Awards, and everyone was going in drag, and I was like, I'm not going to go in drag, even though it was like finale week, and everyone expected me to.
Ooh, what did you wear?
I wore a suit jacket and trousers from, what's his name? Daniel Fletcher.
Yeah.
Like I got something from Daniel Fletcher because I wanted to just go be comfortable and just be like, hey, I can also be me out of drag.
Yeah.
And like, if you're going to like a gay function, you don't have to go in drag because everyone there is probably from the LGBTQ plus community and they know you're a drag queen. So I kind of thought I'd make, you know, just a statement and be like, I can be in the finale of Drag Race and not go in drag.
Do you have one item of clothing that means the most to you?
Oh my God, right. It doesn't mean the most. Everyone hates it. It's actually this bra.
I'll tell you what, it's a really good bra.
This bra is so old. And at the back of it, it's like caged like this. And someone held it up the other day and I'm like, what is this? Because it looks like a fisherman's contraption for like finding crabs or something. So this bra, it needs chucking out, but this is like something I can't get rid of.
But does the right job.
It makes the right shape. It
really
still goes on.
does.
It's got one hook at the back. It's a mess, but you can't usually see it.
Do you buy things like that online, or do you actually go into a lingerie shop?
Oh no, I hate going into shops. I get so embarrassed. I feel really conscious going into women's stores and looking at women's clothes. So it still feels weird.
Everything's bought online?
I think I bought this in Primark about 6 years ago. And that's why I just carry on using it.
Have you ever used a stylist?
No, I haven't. I
Oh.
wish I could.
And why do you wish you could?
Because I would love someone to style me, because sometimes, sometimes you can put together an outfit and you don't know until the very end if it's going to work. And that certainly happened on Drag Race. Like I'd be like, okay, I need a wig and I need this. And you never get to try them on at the same time. And even now, I think I've got a better idea now of what suits me and what doesn't. But it would be so nice to be like, oh, would you help me? Make either as a boy or a girl, just have an outfit put together. I just don't even know how to do that. I don't
It's
know
a
how you
real
get a stylist.
indulgence. If you've been photographed in something for a specific event and, an award ceremony or whatever, do you relegate that piece do you archive it? Do you put it somewhere safe and say, I'll come back to that?
What, like my outfit?
Yeah.
Well, I guess so, but also I probably wear it again at a gig. So yeah, I don't usually buy things that are like so expensive that I feel like I've got to, they're precious. They're usually stretch material, so they're fairly affordable. They look expensive, I hope.
Like your pounds per wear,
Yeah,
Primark,
exactly.
Primark bra.
But I'll probably, yeah, exactly. And I'll probably keep them. I probably won't wear them for a long time after, but I'll try and wear them again because it seems such a waste to me.
Yeah, good.
Because otherwise what am I going to do with it? Just have it sat in a wardrobe?
Do you look after your clothes well?
They're in the wardrobe. That's about it. My boyfriend's very good at putting things away for me without me asking. So yeah, if it's on the floor, he'll put it away.
Oh, he sounds like a keeper.
Oh, he is.
Do you feel like you've had a worst fashion moment?
Oh God.
And was it in drag or was it in?
I mean, out of drag, I don't think so. I think on Drag Race, my finale gown was just horrendous.
Talk us through it.
It was the wig, the accessories, the dress, horrendous. The shoes, everything was bad. I got right to episode 10, right? In the lead to win, and then I wear that, and it was awful.
Talk us through the outfit.
Okay, so the outfit was a bit of a nightmare. It was based on another design. We couldn't get the fabric. Basically, I hadn't even tried on the gown when I took it to Drag Race.
Oh.
The hair was by someone else. The jewelry didn't really match the outfit. So when I tried on the dress, it was too short, so it didn't hit the ground. The jewelry didn't really go. The hair really didn't go. My shoes were broken, so I actually had them sellotaped to my feet. And it just
what
didn't.
A nightmare.
It was just a nightmare, and I had a back injury as well. So it was just a nightmare finale, and that seeing that outfit just brings me back to like, ooh.
Okay, we'll leave that one behind. But I am looking down at these exquisite jewels of shoes.
Yeah.
Is there a specific place that you go to because you must be, what, a man size 42?
Size 7 women's.
Size 7.
I wear.
So do you
easy for
buy
me.
women's?
Yeah.
God, you must do really well in the sales.
Yeah, no, I'm really lucky. A lot of guys have big old feet.
Yeah.
Whereas I've only got a size 7 little dainty foot. So
little dainty.
But yeah,
are those little dainties, are they women's shoes?
Yeah, well, I think they do drag. They're from Baker Shoe. They actually sent them to me, and they're really comfy. I know they look huge, but I think because they've got a platform.
They're getting a good plug right now, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And they're just great for like heightening, making me really big and tall and scary.
And with your stage experience, do you think that's helped you in terms of being able to carry off a heel?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, like a lot of people don't know how to even walk in heels. I didn't particularly, but I was just like, oh, I know how to do this. I was in Wicked, and I used to just sometimes nick the girls' shoes and just wear them around just for a laugh, And like with all the dance experience, you can't help but be good at walking and dancing. Like I've worn them on tour for like 7 weeks, like doing a dance number at the beginning.
I've got to ask you, what's the worst part of being a woman for you?
I mean, being a woman is fantastic. But for me, it's when you need a wee. For me,
in the 8 pairs of tights,
all those 2 pairs of underwear that are underneath the corset and all the pairs of tights. Trying to have a wee is awful. So there's some nights where I just don't wee for about 10 hours, just because it's too much hassle.
Oh God! Let's talk about travel. You've been on the road
Mm.
for a while now. How is that? You've been living in a tour bus.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
people stay in character? Do they, are you on the road with a bunch of bitchy women, or are you, I don't mean to typecast us, or are you on the road with a whole lot of blokes that, or is it in between?
Somewhere in between there. Well, it was a coach, like a sleeper bus, with the little coffin beds where you wake up and then you're, in the night you're like, where am I? Let me out! Like you've been buried alive.
Did you sleep?
I did sleep. It's actually very calming, like the rocking of the bus.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, what the hell is this driver doing? Because it was like,
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. There was 16 of us on this coach. So the 4 dancers and then the 12 drag queens. And it was actually really fun. It was the first time we'd all been together for a long time.
Did you ever have to get into drag on the bus?
Oh, no. No, we'd do that in the venue. You'd shower. You'd do your last toilet and then you get on the bus for the night and you'd travel sometimes like 7 hours to the next place and you'd wake up in the next venue. So,
because I do find myself sort of visualizing you all piling off this bus in full drag with the locals wondering what had hit them.
No, it was all out of drag on the bus and it was really fun. We were partying till late and getting up early and it was
just great fun.
Just having such a good time.
Have you ever been through an airport in drag?
No, but I know people that have. They had to do security and everything. We went on a ferry.
That must have been quite an interesting pat down. I
know. I don't know how they let that happen. Me and Kitty Scott Claus, we went to Calais the other day for a job. So we had to go on a ferry, get into drag on the ferry.
Brilliant.
And then work in a duty free. And then get back. I think we got our makeup off before we got on the ferry. But yeah, that was an experience.
You got the makeup off. Did you get the padding off?
Yeah, everything's off. I whip it off quicker than you can imagine.
How long does all the makeup removal take?
Oh, it's like 5 minutes. Honestly, it's just so quick. Just get something like oily or creamy, just smush it all in, wipe it off. The brow cover takes a bit longer.
Have you found that you have been more attentive to your skincare since you've been a drag queen?
Definitely. When sometimes I've done drag, 6 times in a week in a row, sometimes it's long hours and my face just feels so dry. So I've been, especially as I'm 34, my skin's aging as well. So I just make sure I use some decent products, take it off gently. Because I had loads of awful kind of breakouts where my eyes would just swell up.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm looking at the amount of makeup you've got on now. It looks extraordinary.
Yeah, it's caked on.
But I would imagine that's quite a process.
It's caked on and it's all powdered down. It's actually really easy to get on and off, I think. But I guess I'm used to it. I wouldn't know how to do your makeup or like a normal makeup.
I'm not sure I know how to do my makeup. I need some tips later. When you're out of drag, what's your look? What's the Nick look?
I kind of have like 2 different defaults. Like obviously I walk my dog and I'm just in scruffy clothes at home. I don't really care how I look.
And what's scruffy clothes?
Just like joggers and a jumper, just like, casual. I like to look nice when I'm going out and I'm quite good at sort of styling up and looking a bit nice. Like I love Fiorucci, like anything from there that is a bit cool, a bit edgy. Great. Which you can just put with some plain jeans. I'm kind of good at putting together an outfit out of drag, but usually it's just kind of...
Do you have a guilty secret brand when you're out of drag?
Not really, no. I don't. I find... I wear Uniqlo joggers because they're so soft and comfy, but that's it.
So it's all about comfort.
It really is. I'm like, honestly, out of drag, I never think, oh, I must wear a nice outfit today. Because it's almost like this is me dressing up.
Yep.
Or like if I'm going to an event, then I know how to look nice and put together a good outfit. But I like to look kind of like relaxed, like I've not made an effort because I haven't.
So coming on to sort of the whole sustainability thing that, obviously we're all much more aware of the planet and overconsumption. What's your approach to that? Because you're clearly in an industry that is more,
Mm.
and you've got to create. Do you ever sell any of your outfits? Do you ever buy any secondhand? How do you approach sustainability?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because drag is so, it can be so wasteful. All the wigs are, plastic. They're not real hair. But then there's something to be said for real hair wigs that get used all the time.
Yeah.
That's another issue.
That's a whole other story, isn't it?
But I tend to, I wear things. I've worn what I'm wearing now loads of times, like 20 times.
What, you mean it's not special
It
for
was
today?
bespoke for today, yes. Sorry, that's what I meant. No, I think, I'm still wearing a wig that I bought a year ago and I'm just maintaining it. So I try not to be wasteful, mainly because I don't want to keep spending too much money as well. But I'll just make sure that I get things that I can wear again. Like I said, if it's a red carpet look, I can probably wear it again. I can get it cut into a shorter dress or something. It is important to make sure we're not just chucking things away. And yes, I am going to start selling stuff. It's taken me ages to get around to it. But I'm going to start selling bits that I definitely don't want. Things from Drag Race, old wigs.
But surely now you have such a name, you could actually almost, it's almost like selling a brand.
Yeah, exactly. So if I can sell like a whole look, then someone might want to keep, might just want it for it being on telly. But also like when we're on tour, a few of the girls had sold their outfits and people came to the meet and greets in that outfit. So it's quite nice to see that they do use
lovely.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good, I know like a lot of drag queens do just wear something once and then sell it straight away. So I think at least they're not just chucking them away.
There's a circularity in it.
And I try not to buy from, fast fashion because it doesn't really fit me anyway.
Yeah.
But just because that is so wasteful.
Yeah, because I was going to say, do you ever, when you buy something, are you ever conscious of the person that would have made that garment?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that?
Someone I know said that in the label of something that they bought from one of these brands was like a help me message.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
From someone that was making it. And that is just scary and horrific.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am conscious. Like I'll buy jewelry from like a fast fashion place because I wear them a million times.
Yeah.
But in terms of clothes, I try not to. Yeah.
And I have to ask you about the nails.
Well, these are my nails now.
Unbelievable.
I've just
really
literally
impressive.
had acrylics taken off yesterday because I had them on for 7 weeks and I have always bitten my nails. So this is the first time in 34 years I've had actual nails.
You have beautiful nails. That's incredible.
Stop
so
it.
there, we've got
Thank you.
another positive. Do you ever buy vintage? Or is it
Yes.
difficult because of the...
I do as Nick, I've got so many vintage jumpers. Like I love a jumper. On Drag Race, I wore a different jumper, I think, every week. But in drag, I think it's harder because of the body shape. I think it's easier to get accessories and stuff. But I need to find out where all the good ones are because maybe I've not been to the right vintage store. And also with vintage, sometimes it's so expensive that I almost can't justify the price.
It's interesting you say that. I've always gone up to Portobello Market to look for pieces for inspiration. And sometimes, if something is trending, suddenly the piece is like 300 quid. And you're saying, oh, hang on, that's just way more than it should be.
Like, I used to find some bargains in Dalston, Oxfam. That was the best place where I used to find so many cool things. I used to find wallpaper I used to find amazing things to sell on basically and to make a little profit, but I shouldn't say that, that's awful.
No, that's
but
brilliant. I love that. That's the entrepreneurial.
I found 5 rolls of Liberty wallpaper in Oxfam for £1 each.
Amazing.
Yeah, I sold them.
You sold them?
Yeah.
I was going to say, is it your bedroom?
Yeah.
Do you have one piece in your wardrobe that it has just huge sentimental value to you?
It'd probably be something from, not from a drag wardrobe probably.
Yeah.
I've got like my old school jumper, which I still wear.
You still have that?
Yeah, from high school.
Tell me about it. What does it look like?
It looks okay. It's still got the holes in the sleeves where I used to put my thumbs through.
Were they
just like what used to
created by you?
Yeah. So I still wear that now, and it still looks good.
Colour?
Like, it's blue. I think it was Heatherset High School. It's got like a little sort of logo here, and so I still sometimes wear that, and I think
that's quite cool. Actually,
like, that is vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper vintage.
Yeah.
Right. I've got some quick fire questions for you. High end or high street?
High street.
Bling or bear?
Bling. More,
That was a
more
silly
is
question,
more.
wasn't it? Minimalism or maximalism?
Maximalism.
Couture or charity shop?
Charity shop.
One off or bog off?
One off.
Crocs, cute or puke?
Oh, puke. I hate them.
Sneakers or stilettos?
Sneakers.
Sneakers for Nick. And
Yeah, one for each, please. Thank you.
bodycon or boho?
Always bodycon.
Sports luxe or rock chick?
Sports luxe.
Glam or grunge?
Glam.
Red
Hello.
carpet or relax?
Red carpet.
Party wear or PJs?
Party wear.
Colour or monochrome?
Colour.
Pattern or plain?
Pattern.
Experimental or uniform?
Probably uniform.
Vintage or rental?
Vintage.
Shapewear or sexy lingerie?
Shapewear.
Tights or stockings?
Tights, all the tights.
And finally, Ella Vaday.
Yes.
One last question. At the end of the day, what do you or don't you wear in bed?
Oh, I always have to wear something in bed. What do I wear? I mean, at the moment, I can't work out the weather. So I'm like, I started in trousers and a t-shirt. I ended up just in boxers and a vest. And I don't even remember taking off the t-shirt and putting a vest on. So yeah, always something. I can't do the nude.
You've got to be
No,
dressed.
because things stick to other things and it's not nice.
Maybe a bit too much information. But Ella Vaday, what a great privilege to
Aw.
spend this time with you.
Thank you so much.
The whole drag scene fascinates me,
Yeah.
and the whole reason for dressing up. I just love exploring it
Yeah.
with you. So thank
Well,
you.
please come and see us at a show sometime
I would
soon.
love to.
That'd be amazing. But thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.